I welcome you to my channel. Subscribe and listen to my new stories every day. Betty's cell phone buzzes on the coffee table, screen lighting up with another notification. She's in the kitchen, rushing around as she gets ready to meet her friends for lunch. I watch her from the living room, absent-mindedly, until I glance down at the phone again. Something about it feels off today. Maybe it's the way she has been more guarded with it recently, never letting it out of her sight. But here it is, unattended for once. She's too busy talking to someone on the phone, making excuses about being late. Yeah, I'll be there soon, she chirps with forced enthusiasm, her voice muffled by the kitchen noise. I know I shouldn't, but curiosity mixed with a nagging suspicion overtakes me. I lean forward, my hand hovering just above her phone for a moment. Then I pick it up, my thumb automatically swiping across the screen. Her lock code. For the first time in a long time, she didn't change it. My stomach twists with a sense of foreboding as I press it in, and the screen opens to her messages. I scroll down, glancing through the usual mundane conversations with friends. But then I see something different. A conversation labeled with a name I've never seen before, Sweet Kitty. Something inside me knots up as I tap on the thread. My blood turns cold as I read the last message, miss you, waiting for you at 8 at the coffee shop. It hits me like a punch to the gut. I blink, rereading the message, as if hoping I misunderstood it. But the words are there, staring back at me in black and white. Miss you. I feel my hand go numb, but I force myself to scroll up, my heart hammering in my chest. The previous messages paint a picture I never wanted to see, flirtations, inside jokes, and plans to meet, all with an intimacy I haven't shared with Betty in months. How long has this been going on? Who is Sweet Kitty? A man? Another woman? The name gives nothing away, and somehow that makes it worse. Hey, babe, could you grab my phone? Betty's voice snaps me out of my daze. She's standing by the kitchen doorway, wiping her hands on a towel, smiling like nothing is wrong. Like she's not lying to my face every day. My first instinct is to confront her, to demand answers. But something inside me holds back. If she can betray me so easily, why should I give her the satisfaction of knowing I'm onto her? I set her phone back on the coffee table, careful not to show any signs that I've seen the messages. My heart races, but my expression stays calm. Yeah, sure, I say, picking it up casually and handing it to her. She smiles, leaning in to kiss me on the cheek before grabbing her bag and slipping the phone into her pocket. I'll be back by dinner, she says, heading for the door. I watch her leave, the door clicking shut behind her. The house is suddenly too quiet. My mind spins, replaying the messages, the conversations, the lies. She's cheating. My wife is cheating on me, and I'm just standing here, letting it happen. For a moment, I feel frozen in place, unsure of what to do next. Should I follow her? Confront her right now? My mind swirls with anger, hurt, and a deep sense of betrayal. But then something darker takes over. Why confront her now, when I can make her pay for it in ways she'll never see coming? I walk over to the window, watching as she pulls out of the driveway, no doubt heading to meet Sweet Kitty at that coffee shop. I could follow her, catch her in the act, but that's too easy. She'll get away with a tearful apology or some excuse, and I'll be the fool for giving her. No, I want something more than that. I want her to feel what I'm feeling, a slow burn of realization, betrayal crawling under her skin until she's left with nothing. I sit down at the table, grabbing my own phone. If she thinks she can play me like this, then I'll show her what real betrayal looks like. I know all of her passwords, her accounts. She trusts me, or at least she used to. A plan begins to form in my mind, one that's more satisfying than a simple confrontation. I open up her email account, going through her messages, and then her bank accounts. Little by little, I start laying the groundwork for my revenge, piece by piece. I transfer money from our joint account into mine, small amounts that she won't notice right away. Just enough to give me control over our finances, while still keeping her in the dark. I make a list of all the things she's hidden from me over the years, her secret savings, the investments I didn't care about until now. I'm going to take it all, every penny she's stashed away, and leave her with nothing but her lies. When Betty comes home later that evening, I'm already deep into the plan, but I play it cool. I act like nothing is wrong, like I'm the same loving husband she's grown accustomed to manipulating. But inside, I'm watching her every move, calculating each step. She doesn't suspect a thing. As she sits down next to me, chatting about her day, I nod and smile, but my thoughts are already ahead of her, thinking about how to make her life fall apart without her even realizing it. This is just the beginning. I lean in to kiss her, my lips brushing against hers, and she smiles back at me. But I don't feel the warmth anymore. All I feel is cold, calculated revenge. She thinks she's winning, but she has no idea what's coming next. Betty is humming softly as she stirs a pot of pasta sauce, her back turned to me. I stand in the doorway of the kitchen, leaning against the frame, watching her with a feeling that's impossible to define. It's a mix of disgust, anger, and disbelief, all swirling together in a storm that's hard to keep under control. She looks so casual, so innocent, like nothing's changed. Like she didn't betray me. I've spent the last few days going deeper into my revenge plan, setting everything in motion. The transfers from our joint account have gone unnoticed so far, and I've already started gathering evidence of her affair. She has no idea that I've seen her messages, no clue that I'm onto her. And that's exactly how I want it. She turns around with a smile, wiping her hands on a towel. "Dinner's almost ready," she says, her voice soft and sweet. "Want some wine?" I nod, forcing a smile. "Sure." She walks over to the wine rack, grabbing a bottle of red, and begins to pour us each a glass. As she hands me mine, I take it and swirl the liquid around, watching it catch the light. It's moments like this that almost make me forget the truth. Almost. But then I think of that message, "Miss you, waiting for you at 8 at the coffee shop." It's burned into my mind, a constant reminder of her betrayal. We sit down at the dining table, the soft clink of silverware the only sound between us. She chatters about her day, something about work, her friends, and plans for the weekend. I nod in all the right places, but my mind is elsewhere, already plotting my next move. "How was your day?" she asks, glancing up at me between bites. I shrug. "Same as usual. A little busy, but nothing I can't handle." She smiles, sipping her wine. "That's good. You've been so calm lately. I was worried work might be stressing you out." I let out a small laugh. "No, not at all. Everything's under control." And it is. She just doesn't know it yet. As the evening drags on, I keep up the facade of the loving husband, helping her clear the table, washing dishes, making small talk. But every word feels heavy, every glance between us a reminder of the secrets she's keeping. When we finally settle into bed later that night, she curls up next to me, her arm draped across my chest. I stare up at the ceiling, feeling her warmth against my side. It would be easy to push her away, to tell her I know everything. But I hold back, knowing that confrontation isn't what I want. I want her to suffer the way I'm suffering. I want her to lose everything. She falls asleep quickly, her breathing soft and even. I slip out of bed quietly, careful not to wake her, and head to the living room. I grab her phone from her purse, unlocking it with ease, and pull up the messages from Sweet Kitty. Another one came in just before dinner. "Can't wait to see you again. You were incredible last time." My grip tightens on the phone, my pulse pounding in my ears. I take a deep breath, steadying myself. This is what I expected. I can't let it get to me. I have to stick to the plan. I delete the message. It's a small, petty act of sabotage, but it gives me a grim sense of satisfaction. She'll wonder why sweet kitty never responded. It's a start. The next morning, Betty is up early, slipping out of the house before I even wake up. She tells me she's meeting her friends for brunch, but I know better. I stay in bed for a while, thinking over my next steps. The financial groundwork is already in place, but now it's time to make things personal. I get up, take a shower, and head out to the coffee shop she frequents. The one where she meets sweet kitty. I sit in the corner, sipping a black coffee, watching the door. Part of me is hoping she doesn't show, that maybe I've got it all wrong, and this is some terrible misunderstanding. But when she walks in, laughing and glancing around like she's looking for someone, all my doubts evaporate. She doesn't see me. I've positioned myself well enough to avoid detection, but I see everything. She takes a seat at a small table near the window, tapping away on her phone, waiting. My heart is pounding, anger simmering just beneath the surface. It takes everything in me to stay seated, to not walk over there and tear her world apart. But I don't. I have to be smarter than that. A few minutes later, a man walks in. He's tall, well-dressed, with a cocky smile that makes my blood boil. He walks straight to her, leaning down to kiss her on the cheek. She blushes, her whole face lighting up like a schoolgirl with a crush. I watch them talk, laugh, completely oblivious to the fact that I'm sitting just a few feet away. They look so comfortable, so happy. My fingers curl into fists under the table. This isn't just a fling, it's something more. She's been lying to me for months, maybe longer. They leave together, walking out of the coffee shop hand in hand. I follow them at a distance, my heart racing. They make their way down the street, turning into a hotel. I stop at the corner, watching them disappear through the doors. I don't need to see any more. It's all the confirmation I need. I pull out my phone and take a few pictures of them together, making sure to capture the way she looks at him, the way they touch. These will come in handy later. I'm building my case, bit by bit. When I get home, Betty is already there, acting like nothing is wrong. She smiles at me when I walk in, asking about my day, making plans for dinner. I play along, but inside, I'm seething. The betrayal cuts deeper every time she looks at me with those innocent eyes, pretending like everything is fine. Later that night, when she falls asleep again, I'm back on her phone, deleting more messages from sweet kitty, making sure she feels the distance. I know it's just the beginning, but I can't help but relish the thought of what's coming next. I've already started reaching out to divorce lawyers, preparing the paperwork. She won't see it coming. When it hits, it'll hit hard, and she'll be left wondering how everything went so wrong, so fast. But that's the point. I'm not going to let her get away with this. I'll make sure she loses everything, just like she's taken everything from me. And when it's all over, I'll be the one walking away. The days blur together as I continue to build my plan, each moment spent in Betty's presence fueling the rage simmering just beneath the surface. Every smile she gives, every sweet word she speaks, feels like a dagger in my back. But I play the part perfectly, never letting her see how much I know. The satisfaction I feel from each step of my plan keeps me calm, focused. I will not lose control. Not yet. It's a Saturday afternoon when things start to shift. Betty has plans again. She's been busy with friends more often lately, though I know exactly who she's meeting. This time, I decide to push things further, to start tightening the noose around her carefully built lies. She's in the bedroom, getting ready. I stand in the doorway, watching her as she brushes her hair, looking at herself in the mirror like she's perfect, like nothing is wrong. My stomach churns at the sight. Heading out? I ask, my voice casual. Yeah, just brunch with the girls again, she replies, smiling at me in the mirror. The lies slip out so easily now. I step into the room, leaning against the dresser, my eyes fixed on her reflection. I was thinking we could do something together this weekend, I suggest, testing the waters. Maybe take a trip or spend some time just the two of us. She pauses, glancing at me with a slight hesitation in her smile. Oh, I'm really tied up today, babe. You know how it is. Sure, but we've been so busy lately, I continue, keeping my tone light. Feels like I barely see you anymore. She gives me that same sweet smile, the one that used to make me melt but now only makes me sick. I know. Maybe next weekend, okay? I nod, pretending to be satisfied with her response, but inside, I'm boiling. She's so confident that I'll just accept her excuses, so sure that I'm still clueless. I let her finish getting ready, watching as she grabs her purse and heads for the door. I'll see you later, she calls over her shoulder. Have fun, I reply, my voice steady. The door closes behind her, and as soon as she's gone, I'm in motion. I grab my phone and call the private investigator I hired last week. I've already got enough evidence to ruin her, but I need more. I want her to feel the full weight of what she's done when everything collapses around her. She's heading to the usual spot, I say as soon as he answers. Got it. I'll follow, he replies before hanging up. I've already been tracking her meetings with Sweet Kitty, but now I'm ready to escalate. I sit down at the kitchen table, my laptop open in front of me, and start pulling up her financial records. Over the past few weeks, I've been discreetly draining money from her accounts into mine, but I've also been watching her spending habits closely. Today, I'm going to make a move she won't be able to ignore. As I sift through her latest transactions, something catches my eye. A large payment to a high-end jewelry store, one we've never shopped at together. I can feel the anger rising in my chest again. She's spending our money on this man, buying him gifts while pretending everything is fine between us. I pull up the store's website, quickly locating the item based on the transaction number. It's a watch, expensive and engraved with something personal. The details are vague, but it's enough to confirm what I already knew: she's gone too far. I make a decision. Today's the day I start taking back control. Later that evening, Betty returns, her smile as bright as ever. She walks in like she's had the best day, completely oblivious to the storm that's brewing just beneath the surface. I watch her closely as she puts her things down, kicks off her shoes, and heads to the kitchen to pour herself a glass of wine. How was brunch? I ask from the living room, my voice neutral. Oh, it was great, she replies, not missing a beat. The girls are all doing really well. She sits down next to me on the couch, leaning in to kiss me on the cheek. The gesture feels empty, hollow, and I barely manage to hold back the anger threatening to spill over. I was thinking, I say, turning to face her, how about we go through some of our finances this weekend? Maybe start planning that trip I mentioned. She hesitates, her hand hovering over her wine glass for just a second too long. Oh, sure. We can do that. I've already started looking through our accounts, I continue, watching her closely. There were a few things I noticed. Large purchases, some transfers I didn't recognize. Her face changes slightly, just a flicker of uncertainty, but it's enough. I know I've hit a nerve. What do you mean? She asks, her voice a little too casual. I shrug, pretending to be unconcerned. Nothing major. Just some big expenses. You bought a watch recently. Her eyes widen for a fraction of a second before she quickly covers it with a laugh. Oh, that. Yeah, I bought it for one of my friends. It was her birthday. Must have been some friend, I reply, my voice calm but loaded with insinuation. She shifts in her seat, taking a long sip of wine to avoid meeting my gaze. The cracks are starting to show, and it's only a matter of time before everything falls apart. I decide to push further. You know, I say, leaning forward, I've been thinking a lot about trust lately. Betty stiffens beside me, her hand gripping the stem of the wine glass. What do you mean? I mean, I trust you, Betty. But sometimes I wonder if there's something you're not telling me. She freezes, the color draining from her face for just a moment. Then she laughs again, but it sounds forced. Why would you think that? I smile at her, but it doesn't reach my eyes. I don't know. It's just a feeling. She doesn't respond, just sips her wine and avoids my gaze. The silence between us grows heavy, and I can see the fear starting to creep into her expression. She knows something is wrong, but she doesn't know how much I've uncovered yet. It's time to make my next move. I think we should have a serious conversation about where we're headed, I say, my voice low. I feel like there's something you're hiding from me. Betty sets her wine glass down, her hands trembling slightly. What are you talking about? There's nothing. Don't lie to me, I snap, cutting her off. I know, Betty. I know everything. Her face goes pale, her eyes wide with shock. What do you mean? I mean, sweet kitty, I say, leaning in closer, my voice dripping with venom. I mean the messages, the meetings, the hotel rooms. I know. She stares at me, her mouth opening and closing like she's struggling to find the right words. But there are no right words. She's been caught, and she knows it. How long? I demand, my voice rising. How long have you been cheating on me? Tears well up in her eyes, but I don't care. She deserves this. She deserves to feel the pain she's caused me. It's not what you think, she whispers, her voice breaking. Don't give me that, I growl. I've seen the messages. I've seen you with him. How long? She starts crying, the tears streaming down her face. But I don't feel sorry for her. Not anymore. This is just the beginning of what's coming. I stand up, towering over her as she sobs on the couch. We're done, Betty, I say coldly. I've already started the divorce process. You'll be hearing from my lawyer soon. Her head snaps up, panic flooding her eyes. No, please. We can fix this, I swear. But I'm already walking away, heading for the door. She won't see me again. She won't get another chance to betray me. And she'll never see the rest of what's coming. This is just the beginning. I sit in my car across the street from the hotel, watching the entrance as people come and go. It's late, too late for Betty to be anywhere she's supposed to be. But that's not surprising anymore. I know exactly what she's doing and who she's with. The betrayal is as clear as the darkness outside my window, and tonight is the night everything falls apart. Not for me, oh no. Tonight, it's Betty and her lover who are about to have their lives shattered. I've spent weeks laying the groundwork for this moment. Every step has been carefully planned. My phone buzzes in my pocket, a message from the private investigator. They're in room 309. Perfect. I take a deep breath, the cold air filling my lungs, and step out of the car. The night feels heavy, oppressive, like the world knows something terrible is about to happen. I cross the street, my heart pounding in my chest, not from fear, but from the thrill of what's to come. My hand tightens around the handle of the duffel bag I'm carrying. Inside is everything I need to end this chapter of my life and begin a new one, free from her lies. The hotel lobby is quiet, almost serene. I walk straight to the elevator, avoiding eye contact with the receptionist. I know how to blend in, how to make people look past me. Years of being the quiet, dependable husband have taught me that much. As the elevator doors close, I let my mind drift to what's waiting for me upstairs. Betty and sweet Kitty, or should I say Marcus? Yes, I finally found out his real name. Her coworker. The man she claimed was just a friend months ago. The elevator dings on the third floor, and I step out into the hallway, my steps slow and deliberate. Room 309 is just down the hall, the door slightly ajar as if inviting me in. How careless of them. Or maybe they think they're invincible, that their little affair will go unnoticed forever. Not tonight. I push the door open and step inside. The sight that greets me is exactly what I expected: Betty and Marcus tangled together in the sheets, completely oblivious to my presence. For a moment, I just stand there, watching them. It's almost pathetic, how easily they've fallen into this routine of betrayal. They think they're safe here, hidden from the world. But I'm about to show them just how wrong they are. Betty is the first to notice me. Her eyes fly open, and she gasps, pulling the sheets up around her. What the? Hello, Betty, I say, my voice calm, almost casual. Having fun? Marcus bolts upright, scrambling to cover himself. Who the hell are you? He demands, his voice shaking with fear. He doesn't even recognize me. That's how little I've mattered in their perfect little world. I'm the husband, I say, stepping further into the room. You know, the one she's been lying to for months. Betty's face drains of color, her hands shaking as she clutches the sheets. Please, I can explain. Explain. I laugh, the sound cold and empty. There's nothing to explain, Betty. I know everything. I've known for weeks. Marcus is still sitting there, dumbfounded, like he can't quite process what's happening. Look, man, we didn't mean. Shut up, I snap, my eyes narrowing as I turn my gaze on him. You don't get to talk. Not after what you've done. I drop the duffel bag on the floor with a heavy thud. Both of them jump at the sound, their eyes widening in fear. They know something is coming, but they have no idea how bad it's going to be. I've spent weeks planning this, I say, unzipping the bag and pulling out its contents. Did you really think you could get away with it? That I wouldn't find out? Betty's eyes flicker to the duffel bag, her breath hitching when she sees what's inside. A laptop, some papers, and a few items that I know will send her into a panic. Financial statements. Evidence of her affair. Photos. And something else, a little surprise I've been saving for tonight. I'm not here to fight, I continue, my voice deadly calm. I'm here to show you the consequences of your actions. I pull out the laptop and open it, turning the screen toward them. You see, Betty, I've been recording everything. Every conversation, every message, every dollar you've spent on your little fling here. I've even hacked into your email. All of this. It's already been sent to everyone you know, your family, your friends, your colleagues. By now, they all know exactly who you are. Betty's face crumples, her hands flying to her mouth as she lets out a strangled sob. No, no, please. Oh, it gets better, I say, pulling out the financial statements. You see, I've also made sure that you're left with nothing. All those savings you were so proud of. Gone. Every account emptied. You won't have a penny to your name when this is over. Marcus stares at me in disbelief, his voice shaky as he tries to speak. You can't do this, this is illegal. Illegal? I laugh again, shaking my head. You think I care about the law? You think I care about playing fair? You betrayed me. You both did. And now, you'll pay for it. I toss the financial statements onto the bed, watching as Betty scrambles to read them, her tears falling freely now. You can't do this, she whispers, her voice broken. Please, we can fix this. No, I say, my voice ice cold. We can't. I reach into the duffel bag one last time and pull out the final item, a gun. Both of them freeze, their eyes locked on the weapon in my hand. I'm not here to kill them. No, that would be too easy. But they don't know that. Now, I say, stepping closer to the bed, you're going to leave. Both of you. You're going to pack up and disappear from my life forever. If I ever see you again, if I ever hear your name, I won't be so generous next time. Betty's sobs are uncontrollable now, and Marcus is trembling beside her, his eyes wide with terror. They nod, their fear so palpable I can almost taste it. I lower the gun but keep it in my hand, a silent threat lingering in the air. You have 5 minutes to leave, I say, my voice cold and final. And don't think about calling the police. You have nothing left. No one will believe you. This is your last chance. They scramble out of bed, hastily grabbing their clothes, tripping over each other in their rush to get out. Betty tries to say something, an apology, maybe, but I cut her off with a look. She knows it's over. She knows this is the end. As they leave, I stand there, watching them go. I don't feel satisfaction. I don't feel victory. I feel nothing. The door clicks shut behind them, and the silence that follows is deafening. Betty's gone. Marcus is gone. And I'm left alone in the hotel room, surrounded by the wreckage of what was once my life. There's no going back. There's nothing left but the cold, empty reality of betrayal and revenge. And I'll never see them again.